the lessons I learned about TD was they've always been very ground-based in terms of community-based marketing. And our leadership is very understanding in terms of knowing that this is not something you turn around overnight because it comes across as disingenuous. So when you make investments in the community, it does take time, and your leadership needs to know that you're building that trust over a course of time. And that's really how we're trying to, I guess, engage that new immigrant customer, because take away strategy, take away all this research, let's just get down to basics. If you think about it, you're a new immigrant coming to Canada and you don't know a lot of people, it's very easy to get fooled. There's a lot of messages coming at you at the same time, and you usually lean towards trusted resources in the community, whether it be church leaders or community group people. And I think that when I was at TD as a young person, I would go and help coordinate a lot of these events, and that's how we made friends. And it was funny because the financial planners, they wouldn't just be asked about financial advice, they'd be asked about, oh, where can I sign my kids up for soccer? Oh, do you know where I could get a Lexus? Things like that. And so from a TELUS perspective, we've kind of taken some of that best practice, and we're like, we have to invest in the community, we have to be there. It's not just about point of distribution, it's not just about marketing communication, but it's a genuine effort to actually show that we care and have conversations. And I think that that's how we're trying to win the market, by taking a bit of a long game on it. And so we're making those investments in all the key places, whether it be from a brand perspective, all the way down to our sales channel, and really encouraging those individuals to participate in the community, not just flash in and out. So I always joke about what marketing boardrooms are like. You reach a certain point of you plateau, and then people sit around and say, okay, so how do we get new customers? And the first thing that people usually jump to is minorities and children, because they haven't necessarily made decisions on certain things yet. And the Raptors happen to be in a situation where they're like, okay, everybody really likes hockey, how do we get basketball fans? And so that's why it's a Raptor, because Jurassic Park was a big deal back then. And they decided to go after children, and they said, I think minorities are something that we want to care about. And it just so happened that I was running a nonprofit in the community at the time, and I said, hey, is there a way that we can get into the community? And not knowing too much at that point in time, because I was a teenager, I was still in university, I took up an office there, and it was pretty thrilling, because I walked, this is a true story, I walked in the office and I just kind of looked around, being a big NBA fan, but the NBA was very foreign because they're a US-based entity, and I felt a hand around my shoulder, and I looked to my left, and it was Isaiah Thomas. He goes, what's up, fellas? And I was like, wow, this guy is like, I was completely tongue-tied, and then he's like, what are you doing here? And I told him what I was up to, and he's crazy, because I met him just, I think 6 months ago. I saw him again in Toronto, and he like remembered me, and it's just like, it's nutty. This guy has this crazy memory, but what we did was very simple. We said, let's go where the community is. So we did basics. There wasn't really internet back then, so we had flyers at Pacific Mall. We had a special price point for the community, and the whole idea is trial, get them in the door, and then hopefully they will enjoy themselves and they will come back. So that was sort of the basis of what we did. So a lot of the principles of what people do in multicultural marketing, such as having a 1-800 number in Chinese, and I actually picked up that phone, and my Chinese is completely shot to hell now, so I wouldn't be able to do that with a 10-foot pole. But I used to answer the phone, I'd get posters up there, I'd work with Chinese newspapers to get ads out there, and I would get some of the players to come out to the community to actually engage with the community. So I remember we built a basketball court in the middle of Pacific Mall, had Carlos Rogers at the time, which I don't think any of you will remember, but he came out, played basketball with a couple kids, and that's sort of the genesis of where it started. And every team in the league saw what we did, and every team now has a multicultural marketing initiative, whether it be rallying around a community in their respective city, or a player like Giannis, who was the MVP last year. We have Greek night for him here. Now Badia, when there was a player of South Asian descent playing for Sacramento, he would organize their event. And we still currently to this day organize many Chinese events in collaboration with the Toronto Raptors. So as you mentioned in the slide, they're a very progressive organization in terms of looking for those